In this video, I'm going to share with you the #1 secret to manifesting the life of your dreams. And what I'm about to share with you hasn't been spoken of before. In fact, everybody usually speaks of the opposite. Everybody's trying to manipulate and saying that you need this thing in order to get the life that you want, or this is what's missing. When in fact, what I'm going to share with you today is going to completely blow your mind, blow your paradigm. And because of what I share with you throughout this whole video, it is going to revolutionize your being, your way of seeing, your ways of being in the world, so that you can begin to manifest what it is that you want in your life right now. The first thing that I'm going to mention is that this isn't going to be some high production video. I'm not going to have things popping up. There's not going to be jump cuts. It's going to be super minimal. So if you can't focus your attention, if you can't be here fully with me, then this video isn't for you. And if you can be with me, if you can be here and you can really soak in what is being shared, you can really soak in the feeling, the energy of what is being attuned between us in this moment, then this video will impact you greatly and tremendously for the rest of your life. And make sure you watch the video to full completion, because it's a transmission and a message for you. Now, I'm not going to begin with sharing who I am or what I do or the journey that I've taken throughout the last 10 years of my life and how I've gotten to the point where I live the life that I absolutely love and I have the things that I really love in my life. However, where I'm going to begin is with the secret. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to just sit here and have 10 minutes of intro without going into anything that actually matters. So the #1 secret to manifesting everything that you desire in your life is coming from a place of abundance. And what this means, we're going to break this down because this is huge. There's 2 ways of seeing the world. The first way of seeing the world is looking into the world and seeing everything that is missing. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough blah, 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 blah. We do this everywhere, right? And that's one way of looking into the world. And when you're looking into the world that way, what you're going to notice and what you're going to find is that you're going to experience a lot of fear. You're going to experience a lot of anxiety. Your body's going to be incredibly tense. You're going to be in a rush trying to get somewhere, trying to get. You're going to be constantly wanting things. And wanting is a sign of lack. And how the universe communicates and how the universe works is the universe is like a giant Google machine. You type in your answer to Google and Google just spits you back something. It just says yes. The universe is always saying yes to you. So when you come from a place of scarcity, what do you think the universe is going to give you? Scarcity. When you want something, what do you think the universe is going to give you? You wanting that thing. So scarcity is really important to understand and really important to look at, because if we're operating from scarcity in our life, then we will continue to beget scarcity. What we resist the most and what we do the most begins to repeat itself in our life. Now, when I look back to my life, there was a huge period of time when I was caught in scarcity. I didn't think that I was enough. So I tried to change and fix and do all these things to myself to try to become better. I didn't think I had enough money, so I tried so hard to make more money. I didn't think that I had enough time, so I'd schedule and maximize everything that I could in a day. And even at the end of the day, it still felt like I didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough resources. I didn't have a big enough social network. I didn't have community. Everything in my life was based around this idea of scarcity. My patterns around eating, I would overeat because when I was a child and when I was a kid, I was scared that there wasn't going to be enough, so that I would overeat in order to compensate for that. And so now I find myself overeating. My financial and my bank account, I always lived in a pattern of scarcity, having just enough to get by every single month. Nothing more, nothing less, just enough. I was always coming from this place of scarcity of how are things going to be taken care of? And when I began to see that, I began to be like, wow, okay, shiznit, I am caught in this radical way of seeing the world. And it slowly began my transition into abundance. Now, this is the second way of seeing the world. That is, I have enough time. I have enough money. I have enough friends. I have enough community. I am enough. I have everything I need when I need it, and I am here. That this moment in my life, I am incredibly abundant. I have everything I need and more. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This way of seeing the world, how do you think that makes you feel? How do you think you show up in the world? How do you think you hold yourself in the world? Probably pretty joyful, pretty loving, pretty expansive, full of energy and life and love, full of passion, excitement, enthusiasm, gratitude. And the universe says yes to whatever it is that you're putting out into the universe. God, source, whatever we want to call that, right? It always says yes. So when we're being abundant, when we're seeing the abundance of our life, which we'll talk about how to begin to shift into that and why that's important, when you're seeing that in your life, the universe is like, yes, 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 abundance, yes, 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 just gives you more. Because you understand the principle that how you're being, the ground upon which you're standing on, the foundational essence, vibrational quality, and frequency that you radiate from, the state of being that you exude, creates and attracts the reality that you begin to experience, right? Well, bad things always happen to me. Well, if you exude that, you're going to get that. Good things always happen to me. If you exude that, you're going to get that. So your state of being in scarcity and in abundance determines what you begin to experience. Now, marketing, and this is something that I've got to dive a little bit into first. So the error and the flaw in thinking of manifestation. Usually we want to manifest a life. We want to manifest this life that we really want, this life of our dreams, because we're looking into the world and we're seeing everybody else live life a particular way. And we think that we want the life that they have and that our life isn't good enough, that our being isn't good enough, that the friends that we have, the money that we have, the time that we have, and who we are is not enough. And so we're in this pattern of scarcity. And so we want to manifest from this place of scarcity. We want to, I want to manifest a different life because my life isn't good enough, because I'm not okay living in the life that I'm living. And this is a huge fundamental flaw that nobody ever looks at, that nobody ever takes the time to dive into. Because if you create from that place will follow you wherever you go until you deal with that. You'll constantly get to the next place. You're like, this wasn't it either. I just want to manifest this life now. I want this Porsche. I want this McLaren. I want this Ferrari. I want this house. I want this job. I want this life. And it'll keep on going because you're just operating from the same principle, the same foundation. If you built a house on sand, what do you think's going to happen? It's going to crumble. It's going to keep crumbling. So why not build the house on a solid foundation? Why not build the house on brick or rock? One that can be built and formed for years to come. So that is the flaw in manifestation that most people come from. They just want to desperately change their life because they're not okay with their current reality. And whereas abundance teaches, and this is the number one secret to manifestation right here, where abundance teaches that who you are, that what you are, that your life, that everything in it is enough. It's perfect. It's actually more than that. And when you come from that place, when you begin to understand and embody and experience that, life begins to shift and mold all around you to exude and match what it is that you've always desired. You're not seeking it, you're not wanting it, you're not coming from the place of scarcity for it. It just begins to show up because you are so in love with yourself and your life that is just what you radiate in the world. That is just what you are. This is what has allowed me to be in rooms with millionaires, multi-millionaires. It's what allowed me to work so closely with a mentor that I've looked up to for the last 5 years of my life. A man who's incredibly wealthy and well off. Because I have come from that place. because I've seen and experienced the world through the abundance. And I don't come from a life of riches. I'm a single father. There was a point in my life when I would feed my son organic meals and I would eat canned food. And in that moment, I wasn't sitting there saying, oh, I wish I had more. I was saying, thank you, God, for the food that you're able to provide me, for this food that we have in the fridge, for everything that's here, for the clothes on my back, for the roof over my house, for the phone that I get to watch this on. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. I was still coming from abundance. Even in moments when people would look into my life and they'd be like, dude, what's going on? I was still so abundant. And that is what has manifested life. That's what manifests life. If you manifest scarcity, you'll get scarcity. If you manifest abundance, you'll get abundance. Now, how can you begin to shift into that? How can you yourself begin to shift and notice, okay, are you seeing the world from scarcity? And this is where we begin. Because whenever we talk about change, change always involves 3 steps: awareness, choice, change. ACC. Awareness. We cannot intervene in a world that we cannot see. If I can't see the places that I'm still acting from scarcity, then I can't actually change those patterns. I can't actually do anything about them. So first we have to ask ourselves, we have to get honest. We have to think about what we're thinking about. Do I walk through the world like there's not enough time? Am I constantly worried about money? Am I constantly stressing that I don't have enough? Do I think that I am not enough? Am I constantly trying to fix myself and better myself? Am I grasping onto things? Am I buying things because I don't think I have enough? Am I trying to hold a bunch of things and hold on to things so tightly because I don't have enough? It's understanding and beginning to look into your life. Okay. Where in your life are you scarce? Are you wanting to change your life because you think that your life isn't good enough as it is? Or are you wanting to change your life because you hate it? Because you don't like it? And that's okay not to like something. But whenever we create from that place, we're just going to create more of that thing. And I am in the work of true freedom. I'm not in the work of changing the world to get it to be the way that you want it so that you can feel okay. I'm in the work of lasting freedom, which means, can you be okay with the way that the world is no matter what it is? Because that is freedom. The other is just a means of control. So beginning to look into your life and get real fucking honest. Like, get honest with yourself. Are you creating from a place of scarcity? And that's okay. There's still places in my life that I'm still creating from scarcity. This game isn't just you get somewhere and then you land and you've made it, you're finally here. No, this game is a continual evolution. Just like how a tree never stops growing till the moment that it dies. Just like how I never stop growing until the moment that I die. How you never stop growing until the moment that you die. So look into your life and ask yourself, where am I playing from scarcity? Then comes the second, which is choice. So wherever you see scarcity in your life, you now have awareness around it. And now from awareness, you can begin to make choices, different choices. So let's say you're walking to pay for groceries. You're at the counter and there's a part of you that's scared that you don't have enough money in your bank account. And every time you're like, I don't know if it's gonna go through. I don't know if it's gonna go through. And then you hit it and it goes through and you get the, It's like this time you see that scarcity play out. You've done this. Or you get a letter in the mail and you're not sure if it's a bill. You're not sure who it's coming from. You drive your car, you're scared it's gonna break down. There's so many ways that this plays out, right? Something in your home is broken, so you don't wanna fix it. You wait it off because you're like, oh, I can't spend that money. Wherever that shows up for you, it's seeing it, noticing it, breathing in, and then making the choice that abundance would make. Flowing the energy where abundance would flow. So instead of having that moment of scarcity, you take the deep breath. You remind yourself in those moments, you breathe deeply into your body, I have enough. Thank you, God, for this food. thank you for this letter that tells me that I owe $250 to this thing. Thank you that my car broke down and I now have to fix it. Thank you that I get the opportunity to change this thing on my house. Thank you for I always have enough. And that's a hard choice. Like, it's a hard choice to make in those moments. And at first, you might make that choice 1 out of 10. Then in a month, you might make 2 out of 10. In another month, you might make 3 out of 10. We have this idea that change needs to happen in the snap of a fingers. When in reality, when we're looking at long-lasting permanent change, it takes years. It takes years. It takes a lifetime. But yet, there's this part of us that wants to quickly fix it. So we buy into the quick fixes, which is just another part of us that is just seeking, that isn't okay with what needs to change in our lives. It's just another thing that's showing us that we're not okay with ourselves. And so when it comes to this, it's understanding that this is going to take time. But that's how it is. It does take time, and that's okay. And so wherever scarcity begins to show up, it's like, how can you make a different choice? And you can ask yourself, how would the abundant version that saw everything as I have everything I need and everything is perfect and I have enough of everything, how would they react to the situation, right? Your car breaks down. Oh, thank you for breaking down. I would happily and lovingly be able to spend this money, flow the energy in this direction. Perfect, amazing, awesome. So wherever that choice, wherever we see that, wherever we have the awareness that that's occurring, and we make that different choice, that choice is what leads to the third thing, which is change. Awareness leads to choice, and choice leads to change. And change is when a reality begins to match this feeling that we begin to embody on the inside. Now, when first shifting from abundance or from scarcity to abundance, we may not begin to feel anything. It's just like gratitude. When you first begin gratitude and trying to come up with gratitudes or write down what you're grateful for, you don't feel anything that you're grateful for. It's just, this shows that there's a disconnection between the feelings. It takes time. But over a period of time of journaling what we're grateful for, slowly but surely we'll begin to open the doors in our energetic body that we begin to feel gratitude. It's the same thing here. It's like when we're caught in scarcity, it takes time for us to begin to shift into the natural abundance of who and what we are. But from that space and from shifting, we'll begin to orientate ourselves more into abundance. And the more that we orientate towards abundance, the more that we come up from that foundation in our life, the more abundant our life becomes. Because the universe, God, Source, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, whatever we want to call that thing, is constantly saying yes to us. It's constantly responding. We're in a relationship. It's just saying yes, 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 yes. And this is the number one secret to manifesting the life of your dreams, is coming from this place. That who you are, that what you are, that in this moment, you actually have everything you need. That you are everything that you have been looking for. That you are the very source of everything. And from that place, you then enter the world and you radiate, you penetrate, you be yourself so fully that everything you've ever desired begins to match that frequency and that vibration. Now, I've found this to be tremendously true in my life. And I know this goes against the grain of like, oh, you just got to do this one trick. You just got to do this manifestation or this visualization or this mantra about money or your life that you're living, or you got to have the vision board. Fuck all that shit. Fuck it all. You don't need any of that. What you do need is to begin looking into your life for who you are, for seeing the abundance of who you are, for seeing how you have enough, you are enough, how everything in your world is perfect. And all that is comes down to your mind. It comes down to your body. It comes down to your identity. It comes down to the experiences that have shaped you in your life and the unpeeling of each and every single one of those, which this whole channel is dedicated to. So if you want to learn how to do that, there's so many videos that I'll have and I'll share that will be able to help peel those layers so that you can begin to experience this. because that is what I want for you. This is what I teach in every single one of my programs. This is what I work with every single one of my clients, is getting to the space where they see clearly reality, because we don't see reality. We see the stories, the versions. We see what we want to see. Not really what's here. And this is what attuning ourselves to abundance is. It's your birthright. It's who you are. And everything else is trying to convince you and sell you on something. That you need to do this thing in order to get here, but you don't. You already are there. It just takes seeing that in yourself. It takes being that and witnessing and letting go of all of these ideas about who you should be and how you should be in the world. Letting go of the idea of what success is so that you can find that you are already successful. That's what this is. It's true, everlasting freedom. This is what everyone in the world is looking for. And it just so happens that we're cats chasing our own tail because we were never taught. You weren't taught this. You weren't taught how to navigate the world in this way. You weren't taught how to be in this way. You weren't taught how to radiate abundance. It's not what you're taught. You're taught to look out there. You're taught to compare yourself. You're taught to look to everybody else and what they're doing. And this is a reclamation of who you are. So, that is the number one secret to manifesting the life of your dreams. The life that you have always wanted. And I'm so excited to continue this journey with you. To continue this unfoldment of who you are, of what you are, of how you carry yourself in the world. Because as you change you, everything in your world begins to change. And this is the power of doing the work on yourself. Because you can try to change your family, you can try to change the world, you can try to change your community, you can try to change all those things. But it's not going to work until you change. Because if you change the way that you interact with your family. You change the way that you interact in your community. You change the way that you interact in the nation. You change the way that you interact in the world. And that's where true change begins. It begins with you. From the inside out, let's go. Pop, pop, pop. Woo! From my heart to yours, so much love.